almost here.
It's true. It's true. That is true.
It's a normal
Thank you.
thing to say,
I just wondered how much tap dancing I had to do this evening before we started. With all the levity that I could bring to this event, here it is. My name is Andrew Sidman. I'm a professor of political science, and importantly for this evening, I'm the interim dean of academic programs. It is my privilege to welcome you to John Jay College of Criminal Justice, and for some of you, I'm sure, to welcome you back. Before I begin, I want to thank not only the speakers that we will have this evening, but I also want to recognize our student transitions team led by Kayla Bassnight. You met many of these individuals when you arrived here. They are responsible for the orientation portal that you hopefully were able to complete before this evening. They're responsible for the manpower for the evening and the tours and the tons of support that all of you received upon your admission to John Jay College. This is not a common event for graduate students. Orientations are universal for freshmen as they enter college. I'm sure all of you at least had the opportunity to attend an orientation when you enrolled as freshmen at college. They're common for transfer students at the undergraduate level, and we do several of those each year at John Jay. They're not so common for students who enter graduate study. The norm is orientation by the program that you're entering, and that's what I had as a graduate student, and it's certainly what you will have this evening at the end of this main program. We put together this evening, however, to remind you that there's a larger community that supports you in your academic journey as graduate students. First and foremost, I invite you to look around the room. Take a look, seriously, look at one another. Everyone here is beginning their graduate journey this evening, just like you. And like you, every person in this room is enrolled in a master's program that emphasizes the importance of justice. Justice is in the name of our college because it's central to our mission. Regardless of the program you're taking, you'll learn about justice in its many forms. Most importantly, you'll learn about injustice and gain the skills and knowledge to combat injustice in our society. The reason for holding a college-wide graduate orientation is to impress upon you what you have in common as a community of scholars before you go into your separate programs. My office, Academic Programs, is responsible for the quality of the courses you take, the programs you're enrolled in, for recommending schedules, for policies governing the many aspects of academic life. And for those of you who will take online classes, my office handles support for students who use Brightspace, which is the learning management system that we use here. It's my office that will approve the theses that you write, and I am the dean who has the privilege of presiding over your hooding ceremony when you graduate from your programs. This evening, you'll hear from the Dean of Students and Vice President of Student Affairs, Dominic Stellini, who will talk with you about the many ways Student Affairs supports you in your journey. You'll meet Purnima Taylor, who's the director of our Career Learning Lab, who will talk to you about the links between graduate education and careers. And you'll also meet Professor Kathleen Collins, who will show you some of the countless ways the library is as instrumental to your success as graduate students. Regardless of your program of study, there are hallmark characteristics of all of the master's degrees that we offer. All of these characteristics that make them part of our John Jay community. The advanced knowledge of theory and its applications, the deeper understanding of an area of study, and development of advanced skills that are applicable to one's chosen trade and career. It's the aspect of deeper study that I'd like to focus on for a moment as I conclude these remarks. Graduate school, more so than as an undergraduate, forces you to develop a deeper understanding and at the same time introduces you to a greater breadth of context for the things that you study. A wider range of ideas, opinions, arguments, and data. And exposure to all of this is so vital to matters of justice. Higher education has been defending its relevance for years. Even today, only 14% of people in the United States have earned a master's degree or higher. And in a recent survey of younger people in Generation Z, Gallup finds that only half plan to go to college. Think about that for a moment. Half of young people even have plans to earn a college degree, let alone to engage in the kind of study that you are about to embark on. It's the value of deeper study and wider exposure and the greater acceptance of values that make us function as a society. We've become a body politic that's governed by our political identities and our emotional reaction to people and events. We have become a society that stymies debate, a society whose elites have lost the will and perhaps the ability to argue respectfully and to try and convince others of the merits of their arguments and their positions. We have simply given up, preferring to insulate ourselves from the other, comfortable in the solace of the like-minded. Graduate education changes that. What I see in this auditorium, what I see in our classrooms, what I see in our college community is the desire for better. A better society with people who value communication, who can see truth through the clouds of opinion and misinformation, and people who see the humanity in one another. This evening, I see people eager to make a more just society, and we will gladly give you the tools to do just that. At John Jay, we educate fierce advocates for justice, and I look forward to watching you live that motto. And now, without further ado, it is my honor to introduce you to two members of our community who demonstrate true leadership in educating for justice, President Carol Mason and Provost Allison Pease.
Well, I'm not going to touch it because what I was saying is I have a cold, and so I'm trying not to share it with her or with you guys. Good evening. Good evening. Oh, good. Somebody back there has some energy. Good evening. This is a first. We have not had a graduate student orientation like this. We may have had one, but not like this. That's right, clap. Thank you. So we're so excited to see you, and I know there are a number of people, I hope, on the Zoom somewhere watching. I can't tell, and I know not to touch anything to do that. But one of the things I'm curious to know, how many of you are John Jay grads? Yes. Besides the John Jay grads, how many of you are CUNY grads? Woo! Just curious, where from?
I'm from Baruch.
Baruch? Anybody else?
My undergrad was at Brooklyn College. I'll be seeking my graduate.
Yeah, I mean, but came from, get your,
Good-looking shirt.
exactly. Yeah, how many of you, so anybody else CUNY undergrad? Yes, where?
Same as her Baruch.
Baruch, yes. And which programs are you all in? What program are you?
For political science.
I mean, but what grad program?
Public administration.
Public admin, and you are?
I'm doing public law, same thing.
Okay. And what do you do?
Psychology.
Okay, good, good, good.
Back there, there's another CUNY.
I'm here for the BA MA.
Oh, good.
Psychology.
Good, good, good. Well, I love this breadth of different people here. And how many are from a school that's not CUNY or John Jay? That should be the rest of you. Just seeing if you're awake. Checking. We're excited to have you as part of the John Jay community. And I'm sure you're going to hear from Ruby later, who's your grad student advisor or on the student grad representative on the student council. Our graduate students are important to our community. And we're so excited that as Dean Sidman said, I've got to get these titles right because he's just Andrew to me. He said that, one of the things that we pride ourselves here on at John Jay, and that we hope that you all will help us do through your example, is figuring out how to create a community where people can have conversations across differences and where we're really listening to each other, talking with each other, not talking at each other, learning from each other. Because I think the beauty of an education is learning how other people think. How many of you know what talk radio is? Yeah, I figured there wouldn't be a lot of hands going up because it's not the same. So those of us who are in other parts of the country where we drive to get everywhere, we actually listen to something called talk radio. It's back then, I don't know what it is now, it used to be on the AM stations, now it's on satellite radio. But I learned I'm a lawyer by training. I spent 30 years practicing law before I came into different worlds. And I had this law professor, Sally Ann Payton, tell me when I was applying for clerkships with a judge, federal judge, she said, you need to clerk for somebody who thinks differently than you do. So I clerked for a Republican judge in Chicago, and it was eye-opening. In a car, what I always did was listen to talk radio, because she said it's so important to learn how people other than you think. Because that helps your mind grow, that helps you know. It's important to know what people other than what was the phrase you used, your solace of the like-minded, think about things. Because you can't grow and really think about things if you're not talking to people who think differently than you do. And so, history lesson, besides this guy, how many of you know who G. Gordon Liddy is? Okay, it's only a certain age. You know who G. Gordon Liddy is. How many of you know what Watergate is? Oh, hallelujah. I was afraid. I was like, okay, I'm going to flunk.
Some good Netflix series.
Right. So I was listening. So usually back then, talk radio used to be these people just, well, how many know who Rush Limbaugh is or was? Okay. We've got some generational stuff going on here. He was this bombastic guy who just had these views and he would just talk. And so on talk radio, views that were very different from mine. And so I remember listening to this one talk radio station and this guy was like, oh my God, I like him. He actually says, I don't know, or you consult somebody who's an expert on it. And then I found out I was listening to G. Gordon Liddy. And it was this big aha moment again for me to realize that how you can learn from people who don't think the way you do, people who you think you couldn't possibly agree with. And what we hope that you do using your time here is expand your thinking about things, whether you're in forensic psychology, whether you're in public administration, whether you're in any other program here, or use this as an opportunity to get exposed to things you might not otherwise be exposed to. You're going to hear from a lot of other people here today. Join clubs, organizations, come to different talks and things that are totally outside of your discipline, again, so that you can be exposed to what other people think about things. And so we are excited to have your voices here as part of our community. I hope that you will share them. We have a tradition of a monthly town hall. Ruby will tell you she comes on a regular basis, which is why I know her name is Ruby. And I hope you come share your thoughts with us. It's an open forum where you get to just express yourself about whatever issue you want to. Come share things that you're working on. Come hear about what else is happening in the community. So, how many of you are excited to be a bloodhound now? Because that's what you are. Did he come in already? Or is he coming? No, he's not coming tonight.
No bloodhound for you.
You'll get to, if you come out to things, you'll get to meet our bloodhound. We even have athletics here, and we have great athletic teams, and the bloodhound comes out to that too. So thank you for trusting us with the next phase of your education and continuing to grow. Now, I turn it over to my partner in justice. I'm Southern, in case you don't know. My partner in justice, Provost Allison Pease.
Well, we were supposed to be a duo, and we are. And so I'm not going to speak too much more, except simply to say this. First of all, just a big heartfelt welcome to John Jay, and welcome back for you who just graduated and are pursuing graduate studies. And a second, respect and admiration for what you're doing. You are taking yourself really seriously and taking the next step in advancing your career and your mind. That is going to challenge you at moments, and you're going to feel like you don't want to do the work that is required to do this. But these degrees are as valuable as you are willing to make them. And what we know, there is a lot of talk these days. I said I wasn't going to go, but I'm never leaving this microphone. No, 1 more minute. That's it. But there's a lot of talk these days about whether you have skills for careers or should you get an education, right? And as if these things are separate. And one of the things that we know is that skills aren't just one little thing that you develop and it's done. They are developed over time, again and again. Right? So everybody in this room has an undergraduate degree. You know what it means to earn that degree. And a lot of that work is about persistence. It's about escalating critical thinking skills. And this is what we do with the master's degree, right? It is the next couple of levels of that. And when you graduate from John Jay with your master's degree, you are signifying to the world that you have incredible self-determination and the ability for lifelong learning, that you have critical thinking skills that are above average, above what someone gets from a bachelor's degree, right? But that doesn't come simply from, paying your tuition and checking into class occasionally, right? These are skills and habits of mind that are earned by doing the work. And this is a unique opportunity in your life to really invest in yourself. So congratulations for making that weighty decision. And I'm excited for the adventures that each of you will have with your own minds. Enjoy it.
It's now my pleasure to introduce you to Dominic Stellini, our Dean of Students and VP of Student Affairs.
Good evening and welcome. I'm very excited to welcome you all here. I am also very new. I'm here 3 months and 10 days. So I'm still learning. We'll learn together. But one of the things I wanted to make you understand is that, yes, you're graduate students, and I know, like, okay, I'm going to come, I'm going to do my classes, and that's it. Please don't have that attitude. This is your school. This is your place. Get as involved as you can. I understand you're going to sit there and go, I have a full-time job. I have kids. I have a family. I get that. I've been in your shoes. I came back to school after a long time to do a graduate program. I was 50 plus, let's just say it there. So I understand. But making this your place, taking ownership, and understanding that we are here for you is what I'm all about. Every time everybody hears Dean of Students, oh, he's the conduct guy. That's not what I'm about. I mean, it is, but I'm also here to support you. All of the student support outside of the academics falls under my bailiwick. Accessibilities, our student leadership, everything outside of the classroom. If you need help, if you need support, Student Affairs is there for you. Take advantage of us. We're here for you. You're paying for it. You may as well take advantage of it. And if you don't know where to turn, email Dean of Students at jj.cuny.edu, and me or one of my team will help you figure out where to go. And that's anything. If there's anything you can't figure out on your own, come to us and we'll figure it out. And we'll help you, okay? We're here for you. Student governance. As President Mason indicated, we do have Ruby Aguirre, who is our grad rep on the student council, and she needs a partner. There's another spot. So if you're interested at all, if you had the student council bug when you were an undergrad and would like to get involved, talk with Ruby afterwards if she hasn't already corralled you, because she's good at that. And we do need some additional help. But again, we're here for you. Okay, we're here to help you get through this, to make it more of just than an academic experience. You will always be a bloodhound, and so we care about you. And if you need help, if you need assistance, we're here for you. And my team is, I have an amazing team of staff. We have amazing programs, and we're here to make this a full experience for you. Don't have the attitude, oh, I'm a grad student, there's nothing else here for me. That's not the case. There's a lot here for you. There's student organizations, there's organizations within your departments, and we support all of that. So please do take advantage of what's here for you, and welcome to John Jay.
Now invite Purnima Taylor, the director of our Career Learning Lab, to tell you about all the wonderful services that can help you link to careers.
It's a pleasure to meet you all this evening, and thank you for taking the time to join us today. I am, as Andrew shared, the director of the Career Learning Lab, Purnima Taylor, and I have a phenomenal team who works with all of you to ensure that you not only invest in your academic future, but ultimately where your North Star is, which is what is the employment journey or the career goal that you are seeking to achieve with all the knowledge you're gathering today, right, through this degree program. And so we really want to work with you together. Sorry, I still have to move over to the mic. We want to work with you in partnership to map that out, whether you're here for 1 year or 2 years fully, or for a different breadth of time, where we would like to really get to know you from the beginning. So I want to emphasize this with bold, double underline, whatever you want, however you want to, neon lights. Come to our offices frequently and often. There's no small question when it comes to a career journey, and making sure that it is aligned with the skill sets you're developing, the knowledge base you're growing, and ultimately the joy that you hopefully will gain from the professional track that you ultimately choose, right? And that you're committed to. And sometimes you want to test things out. So whether you're an undergraduate student or a graduate student, internships are still super critical to test out, demonstrate ability and experience, so that when you apply for the full-time employment opportunity post-graduation, you are an attractive candidate with the skills preparation that the employers are seeking from you. And we want to make sure that we really get you there. So, but we can only do that if you stop in and say hello and check out all the different resources and services we have. We also have online tools for you. So we offer walk-in counseling appointment, group counseling appointments, workshops on resumes, cover letter, interviewing prep, etc. But we also are in the digital age, and so we offer platforms that you can log into online based on your schedule to do all of those things as well virtually. So we have VMOC, which allows you to do your resume, cover letter, and interview prep, or at least get started with it and then come in when you're free. And then additionally, we have Handshake, where you can do the full search of employment opportunities, whether that's part-time, full-time, internships, et cetera, online through the portals. In addition to that, we offer major career con events. So that's when employers physically come to campus for 3 days every semester. And there's one coming up. It's February 25th through the 27th. And so all students are welcome. And as an alum, you can still take advantage of those opportunities. But like I said, I want you to start with us from the beginning. So don't wait until you're an alum. We want to see you from day one. And so we usually typically have about 100 employers from a variety of different organizations, both government, not-for-profit, and private sector, recruiting our students for employment opportunities that they're ready to share. All right. So I look forward to seeing you all and getting to know you as well as my full team, and that we can successfully support your career journey as you're here at John Jay. Okay? Thank you.
And finally, until you hear from me again after this, Dr. Kathleen Collins, one of our librarians and our graduate librarian.
Welcome, everyone. I join my colleagues in welcoming you here. We're so happy you're here. I love listening to my colleagues because they inspire me with all of their words. And especially want to reiterate what Dominic and Purnima have said. The takeaway for me was, ignore us at your peril. And I don't mean to frame that negatively.
It was not so threatening.
It wasn't threatening, but I want you all to remember this. And that phrase has just been going through my mind today when I thought, what do I want to tell these new graduate students? I told my colleague, I'm going to graduate orientation tonight, and she goes, tell them we exist. Okay? So that's my first strong message to you. And I say that, not disparagingly, self-disparagingly, but because, Google and everything, you all might think, yeah, there's the library, but you really, really do need us. And we are so central to your education. The library has always been and continues to be a vital hub in your academic journey. There's no different now than it ever was. And by the way, isn't it great that none of us have PowerPoints? I just noticed that. We're just talking. We are here, we exist. We are here, if you haven't been, we are in the Heron Hall building. We take up the first and second levels. And we are also here virtually. We have a wonderful website that's constantly evolving and can answer a lot of your questions. If you go visit the website, you'll see a help us section where you can email with us, chat with us virtually. Our favorite thing is when you visit us in person, if you can. And when you visit us in person, believe me, there's more than you think available to you in the library. We have space for you to study, obviously. It's a quiet space to study. We have group study rooms where you can sign up, reserve time to collaborate with your peers. We have books. I'm sure some of you have seen those before. That is where you go and get them and check them out. We have just hundreds of databases, and a lot of your research, of course, these days is done electronically, and you can access these things from off campus with your John Jay username and password, many ebooks, streaming videos, all kinds of things. We have, if we don't have something that you need, you can take advantage of interlibrary loan. Those of you who have been at John Jay and CUNY may know about the inter-CUNY library loan system, which is still available to you. Interlibrary loan, even beyond that, books and other materials from around the world you can request. We have, if you are in a program that requires a thesis, we are a vital part of your thesis journey also, and we have actual physical copies of previous master's students' theses in the library. You can also see them online in our institutional repository. That's going to be hugely valuable to you when you want to see, well, what does a thesis look like? What form does it take? How long is it? What's involved? We can help you with that. I really want to emphasize, though, that we are here, as my colleagues have said before me, we are here to support you, to help you, and you really, really should take advantage of us because we love talking to students about their research. We can help you strategize your search, using keywords and all of those things that librarians do. But if you just want another set of ears, pair of eyes to talk with about your research, come to the library and talk to us. There's always one or two reference librarians sitting at the reference desk on the second floor of the library. Tell us what you're working on, because not only will it help you to kind of hash it out with somebody different, I'm sure you're already talking with your professors and your advisors and your classmates, but bring it to a librarian too, because you might spark something in us listening to you. We might have some ideas for you, maybe some pathways of research that you hadn't thought of before, people that we could connect you with, and that kind of thing. So again, the library might have more than you think. So please come and visit us, take advantage. I am one of several faculty librarians there. We're all willing to help you. I happen to have a special relationship with the graduate students, but all of my colleagues are happy to help you. So I hope to see your faces in the library at the reference desk, and remind me that you met me at graduate orientation, and good luck, everyone. Welcome.
So we moved that through that a good bit faster than I had planned, which is nice because I can open the floor to questions from you if you have them. Something we usually do at the end of orientation. If not, we'll move on with the rest of the evening. But certainly, if you have questions about your program, about academics here, about anything else you've heard about tonight, ask, please, or not. All right. Well, not seeing any questions, then I'll simply conclude the evening by saying that as an orientation, right, the goal for this evening was to, and again, before you embark in your program-specific orientation, and before you meet the people who will guide most of your academic life as graduate students here, this was a way to introduce you to and remind you that you are part of the John Jay College community. There are lots of people here, pretty much none of whom you've met tonight, but what you've met are representatives, right, of those offices, people who work with those individuals who are here to support you in your journey. The life of a graduate student is a very independent one most of the time, right? You will do lots of work. Actually, yes?
What would you say are some common problems or difficulties graduate students have that they're not aware of?
Oh my. While a question probably better answered by graduate directors, I will say this is new, well, it's the program specific. as new graduate students, at least many of the ones that I've interacted with, it's getting your feet under you, right, as you begin your graduate program. As I was taking my comments in this direction, anyways. Thank you, Professor Shapiro, for bringing me there. This is that you are embarking on a course of study that is in many ways independent. For those of you who are in programs, and certainly all of our programs will include substantial research. Some of our programs are heavier in that than others, right? Some of our programs, for example, require a thesis. You're in the forensic science master's program, for example, you're required to write one. The thesis is common for forensic psychology students, right? Whereas in forensic mental health counseling, of which I'm sure there are many of you, right, the primary requirement there is the externship. Certainly lots of research there as well. Criminal justice, I see lots of theses from those students. ICJ has a heavy research component for those of you who are students in that program, and so on. Research at this level is not done in the way that it's done as undergraduates. You are expected to not just be someone who understands the things that you're reading and understand the research that's presented to you. You are now in a position to become knowledge creators. You are earning a master's degree. We expect mastery. And that, Professor Shapiro, tends to be the biggest jump that I see students have to make. Understanding that what is required of them now as master's students is more than what was required as undergraduates, even as seniors writing what may have been senior theses, right, in your previous institutions, or capstone papers, right, if you wrote those. The expectations are higher because we know that you are capable of doing that work. And once again, the point of tonight was to show you how much support you have in doing it when you need it. Support in certainly through the library in conducting research. And for those of you who are able to physically visit the library, go. It's a really, really cool place to be. Lots of amazing places to study and lots of very knowledgeable people to talk to. For those of you who are on Zoom, if you can't make it into the library, lots of very knowledgeable people to talk to through chat. Certainly all of the same people who are here in person, right, they are available to you online. Same with all of the services you heard about tonight. Certainly if you're here and you can make it into those offices, please come into them. If you can't come in, or if you are in an online program and not close to John Jay, everything that we do in person, we do remotely as well. Please use the services. Talk to the people who are here to support you in your journey. It will undoubtedly increase your success as a graduate student. Ruby.
I just wanted to echo Ms. Bellini. I have a QR code if you guys are interested in joining. Graduates in our cohort, we are in need of one of our members who graduated in the fall. And if you want to know what you can do, it's a great way to get involved. We are in charge of doing amazing things for graduate students. So we did a Pete and Sip night last semester. We did a multidisciplinary panel, which is very important if you're looking for networking or what does a career look like in this field. Dr. Pickman, who is here, was part of that panel. We had Dr. Brooker, who's the behavioral commissioner at NYPD. We had various other wonderful faculty members that you will have in class, but this will be a more intimate way to connect, and they will answer. There are open books. Also, we are part of student government. We have such a diverse group there. We are like a big family. We did a potluck last semester, and it's a great way to get involved, step outside your comfort zone, and challenge yourself, especially if you're looking at what the next steps look like. So I really highly encourage you to scan. I'm an open book too. My name is Ruby. You'll see me on campus. You can email me. Feel free. My name and email is on the John Jay website, and I hope that you guys will come. So this will be in the front if you want to take a picture of the QR code.
Thank you. Any questions from the new graduate students who are here? All right, not seeing any, and certainly I'm sure our directors and advisors are eager to go on with the evening. I will conclude it here by thanking you all for being here this evening. Again, I'm Andrew Sidman. I'm up on the 5th floor of what we call Harron Hall. Feel free to reach out to me, find me. If you aren't here in person, email me, call me. I'm happy to speak with students whenever you need to speak with me. All right, that said, if you are here for criminal justice, you will remain in this room. Good for you, you don't have to move anywhere. Digital forensics and cybersecurity, you will go to room 163. Dr. Jane may not be here yet, so you can come and hang out with me till Dr. Jane gets here, because we are running a little ahead of schedule. Anyone for economics? All right. Emergency management? All right, Dr. Velotti is there. You'll go to room 167.